Hello, hello, and welcome back to Open Plays. Wah, 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 wah. Sorry, I'm not very good at building up the hype. But anyway, so today I'm going to try and be a lot more focused on what I'm doing. I'm going to give you just a quick overview of the city, where we're at, and how things are going. So we've got our coastal resort down here. We've in the last quick episode we put in this down here, and also actually I've downloaded the what's it called? I've downloaded the thing that allows me to touch these roads. So in theory, do I have to go into here? Let's go down to touch this. Touch all? Does that allow it? Yeah. Awesome. And it just works. Cool. Sorted. I didn't think it would be that quick, but it really was. I'm going to upgrade these down here as well. So this isn't what I wanted to do today, but it's just something that I needed to do anyway. That gets a lot more throughput for what will be a very high throughput area with two large incinerators. And actually, do we want incinerators there? We really don't want incinerators there. What we want is recycling. I don't know why I put incinerators so close to the city. Why do I do this? Sometimes I do wonder. I must have thought it was what it wasn't, but never mind. We'll put them out here. We don't mind if they create a bit of pollution down here. That's absolutely fine. So what we do want though is recycling. I don't think it's going to fit. I think it's only going to have one. Well, that's fine. It's got a large recycling centre. Where are we here? We could even maybe put in a small one. I don't know. Maybe. What if we did a road off of this? Maybe even the smallest road possible. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd have to be here, but I can't put it there. Annoyingly, it has to be there. But that will allow us to put in just a couple more of these recycling plants. And there we go. That's the best use of the space there. And I'm just going to quickly make sure this is in the right thing. So they just have to give way. If they just literally give way to any traffic coming down the other way, that should be fine. We messed with this traffic light down here so that a lot more traffic flows through that area. It turns out, like, I've had a little bit of a stigma against doing them just because I'm worried that they will not do, like, I'll mess up the traffic lights, if that makes sense. I haven't necessarily wanted to do it myself because of that reason. But actually it works surprisingly well and easily, so I don't mind putting in my own traffic lights because actually, you know what, I do know best. Whether City Skylines wants to believe that or not, some of the traffic light logic can be a little bit fucked, and we know that from what happened back here when literally we had it backing up throughout the entire city because of that one junction that I put in there. Anyway, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I want to be a little bit more focused this episode on getting in some decent industrial, because all of our commercial are complaining if I can find one that is complaining, here we go, that they have not enough goods to sell. And I believe that has something to do with our industrial not producing enough. So if we build more industrial, hopefully it will produce enough. I will also have to well, turn that off for starters. We don't want that on. Where did I put the other one? We had two down here, didn't we? We had two large incinerators. Where did I put... I'll put the other one over here. That's absolutely fine. That can be on. So yeah, like I was saying, I want to be a little bit more focused, and finally getting back to it. I think what I'll do is put in... I'll upgrade this junction down here a little bit better. The only thing is we do only have 1.8 million. I mean, we only have 1.8 million. But you know, it can go very quickly when you're working on a bigger project like this, because I mean, these cost, for example, 70 per cell, so a bit like that already costs 2,500. And then when you're putting in like a tunnel or whatever, it costs a little bit more. So I am going to keep an eye on the money, but for now, what I want to do is just explain my vision, because last night when I was laying in bed, I couldn't sleep, and I thought, how can I fix this junction, and how can I do it well? How can I make it so that it works really well? And this is what I was thinking. So it's going to be on a bend, and that in its own right is pretty difficult to sort out, because it takes into account a bend, and that's pretty difficult to work with. Sorry, just needed a sip of water there. Thirsty work, this city Skylines. So what I thought I could do, the way this map is laid out, it has trains in the middle of the highways, as I'm sure you know, and I was actually quite skeptical about this when I started, because I thought, oh no, I'm going to have terrible problems with that, it's not going to work properly, I'm going to have problems where all the trains back up and everything. But actually, having the one-way trains now has helped that out a huge amount, because it means that you can build junctions where the trains don't have to go across each other, if that makes sense. They don't have to cross... They don't cross the streams, let's just put it that way. And that works really, really well. But let's just let's just measure this out to start off with. This is almost 100 U distance to distance, and what I want is just a nice curve here. So I'm thinking if we just build a line out for now, and then a line down, and then if we delete back a bit, so I'll delete this one back to about there, I'll delete this one back, and actually the traffic that we have already there is a great tool for me to use to judge where I want the bend to be. So I think I want it to be about here. I'm looking for a 90 degree here, so sorry if this is a bit fiddly, but I'm just trying to get it right. Maybe that one, 90.1, that's good enough. Right, so I was thinking, how can I make it so that the trains don't affect the junction with the motorway? And the only way I could really think of doing it would be to do something like this. So if we do that and then put it in, and I don't know why it came out of where I was. But if we do another one down and put it in, and I'll just turn that round. So effectively that's an off and on junction for the rail there. And then what we also want is to do the same thing over here. So I'm thinking one up like so, one back like so, and we'll just add it in so that it looks pretty, and make sure that because I've got the left hand side on, it comes off on the left hand side, because I'm English. That's what feels natural to me. If it doesn't seem natural to you, then I can understand that. But that's just how I'm doing it. So what I'm also going to do is from here I'm going to do a line like so, and a line back like so, and then a line this way like so with motorway, and a line back like so. And then we're just going to put in bends. So I'm going to put in the bends here. I don't know whether it will... It's annoying because it feels like you should be able to say, right, I want this guide to show up, but it just won't. And unfortunately, it doesn't always automatically. So let's try 33U out. That's close. 35U. That's close enough. And then we're going to go back, and hopefully you can sort of see what I'm doing here. I'm going to delete this back as well, because that's causing some issues, and we really don't need those issues right now. So let's try 50U out and then up. No, I can already see that isn't going to be enough. So if we try 53U, it's not quite enough. Let's try 55U. You know what, I'm going to turn off road guidelines because they're annoying me. 55U. This is stupid. It's meant to snap to road length, but it isn't snapping at all. So let's try 54U, and that's practically perfect. So what this allows us to do now is, with the rail as it is, I can go down to 24 meters below the ground, and then on the other side I can do the same, and then that will go... That isn't quite the same, and it's going to bug me if it isn't, so I'm going to try and get it exactly the same. It's a bit hard because the road guidelines... Oh, I turned the road guidelines off, didn't I? I thought they were just not showing up. There we go. Perfect. Adoy. I don't know why I didn't turn them back on. Never mind. Anyway, so I'm going to do the same over here. So I'm going to go down at about 8U to 24, and then I'm going to come back on myself. And that's fine. And what that allows us to do, or it allows me to do, sorry, it doesn't necessarily allow us to do anything, because you're not playing the game, but anyway, why can't I go through there? Ah, it's because it's not far down enough? Is that... Why isn't it... What? Oh, there we go. Okay. It just wasn't set up right. I don't know. So what I'm thinking is to do one off this way and one off this way. So we can do a big loop around this area and come back on. And that should be absolutely fine. It doesn't really matter that it's going to be quite a big track around this area. Because, I mean, as